Let's start the countdown. Good morning, guys. We've got about a minute left, and then I'll jump right into the questions that people have asked in the Practical Growth Academy. There's a lot of them this time. Almost 20, almost 30. I think there's 28 questions this time. There we go. We've got some people jumping in. If you guys can hear me perfectly, type a 2. If I'm too quiet, type a 1. And if it sounds like I'm a little loud, type a 3. Hey, guys. Recommend some books? I've recommended a lot of books in the past. That's a lot of 2s, so I must be sounding pretty good. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Looks like we've got, it says 22 people, but that's a lot more than 22 2s I just saw in the chat, so there must be a lot more. And there's 22 seconds on the clock. Show your face? I'm considering that in future live streams. Click the like button if you think that I should show my face in future live streams. We'll see how many likes that gets. There's 274 people. All right, let's get into the questions. You guys know how it goes. These questions have been asked by people in the Practical Growth Academy who pay less than the price of a book a month for all kinds of benefits. You can click the link in the description to find out more, but let's get in. All right, the first question, they didn't enter their name, but the question is probably, I'm a slow reader because I take lots of time to read a book. I realize you have read a lot. How does it take you to read a book? Sometimes, I think this is asking how long does it take me to read a book. Sometimes, depending on the book, it could take me days. Other times, for smaller books, it can take a couple hours. That was a pretty simple question. The next question is by Ryan. I started learning new things about self-development because I wanted to make money to possibly pay for college in the future. Months later, I really wanted to start making money, but every time I'm close to finally starting a business, like designing websites for small businesses, I find something new to learn before I actually implement it. I would like to continue to learn and start a business at the same time, but it's hard to find the time and willpower to do both. Well, that is correct. What are things I can do to stop doing to start up my business? If you want to start up your business, you need to focus on just your business. It's okay to keep learning, but a lot of people get into the mindset where they think they can't start because there's more that they need to learn. The good news is for you, Ryan, is that there's a lot of people in this loop, and they will never become your competition. But the bad news is that you need to understand that if you spent more than 3 months learning something, you're probably ahead of 80% of the other people trying to learn it. So, you need to start putting in the work. In fact, you can even justify it if you need to in your mind that putting in the work will probably be the best way for you to learn now, because you will work and then you will fail, and those failures will probably teach you more than you can even imagine, and they'll get you closer to success instead of just learning. I hope I answered that question pretty well. The next question is from Mac. Why did you create a Discord server? Do you play video games? If yes, which one? Alright, so if you guys don't know, Discord is the app, the platform that I use to create an online community in Practical Growth Academy so that we can all talk about self-development ideas, personal growth ideas, and kind of help each other out. So to answer this question, I found Discord from a friend, and it seems like a great way to communicate in a group on desktop and in mobile. So that's why I picked it and I've used it, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I do play a couple video games. I've played Call of Duty with some friends, Minecraft I play with my brother, Fortnite I've played with my brother before. Honestly, games are really something I do to relax and build experiences with the people that I care about, not necessarily something that I'm interested in and spend a ton of time doing. Not very many people probably know that. The next question is from Jitesh. This guy is he's one of my 1,000 true fans, I know for sure. So he asks, how to be powerful and be respected by people around you, how to maintain one's status, and how can you connect with powerful people so that your connections grow by knowing them? And he says, how do the rich socialize themselves and maintain their status at the very same time? So I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to feel and display power, respect, and authority. The first one is body language. You need to have confident body language because people can feel this body language subconsciously instead of actually consciously interpreting it, and their brains will turn what they perceive as truth. They will perceive it as truth to them. So you need to have great, confident, powerful body language as a foundation. Tip number 2 is that the way you talk, along with body language, you need to back up your confidence with what you say and how you say it. Now, I'm not going to go into detail. There's tons of ways to not sound shy and to sound more confident. But basically, use words that portray confidence and use them in a manner that helps support that confidence. Once your body language is very powerful and the way that you say and talk and sound is very powerful, there's one more step. Actually, there's 2 more, but there's one that you need to solidify down. The next one is to be humble. Tip number 3 is to be humble. You have to be humble. Otherwise, if you have major confidence in the first 2 steps, body language and the way that you talk, you will sound arrogant. Being humble means listening to other people more than you speak. It also means learning from them, and it means not bragging or boasting about what you've accomplished. This is something that rich people, if they're arrogant, they love to boast about the things that they've done. But if they're humble, you want to make friends with rich people who are humble. Let's see, the last step is the way that you dress shows a lot of status. Other than body language, when someone first sees you, those first impressions, they're going to judge you. Not on purpose, but psychologically, undeniably, they're going to judge you based on what you're wearing. So dress like how you want to be perceived. And there's a fine line here. The best way to do this is to ask a bunch of people around you what they think a confident, powerful person looks like. And this gives you a foundation of how to dress to conform to what they think is powerful. Now, this should not be taken as conforming to the thoughts of others, but you should be able to be confident in whatever you wear, and you should be able to wear what you want, but dressing to please those around you, to seem respectful and powerful, this will give you a slight advantage. So I hope that answered your question. That was a pretty long answer. Let's go on to the next question, and then I'll answer some questions from the YouTube chat. This guy, he didn't enter his name. Any pills like nootropics and ginkgo, I've heard of this word before. It's in a lot of books about nootropics I've read, that helps our brain concentrate and focus more. He says brain food. I'm going to answer this question really simply. I don't take any nootropics personally other than caffeine, which is basically not one of those big nootropics that people think about, so I don't really want to recommend any nootropics on this live stream. I do have friends that take a few though. So let's go back to the chat. There's 260 people watching. It's been about 7 minutes. Wow, this is going to be a long live stream because I think there's 30 questions. Oh, there's AliX Fishing. Love this guy. Thanks. How to stop overthinking? One of the best ways to stop overthinking is to go out and do something. Let's see. You guys have any questions in the chat? Someone asked where are these questions coming from? These questions are coming from my Practical Growth Academy. You can check the link in the description. And I will literally pay you a $20 Amazon gift card to try the first month. It's $17 a month, and you get all kinds of stuff. I think I've already done 8 animated book summaries that once you sign up, you'll have access to, along with the actionable worksheet to turn those ideas in the books into action. All right, any more questions? How to concentrate, how to focus. If you have the passion behind something, it's really easy to concentrate. Let's go back to questions. Mac asks, with all the information that is available, how do you decide what's important and what's not important? I think it really pertains to the situation or your goals that you're trying to accomplish. So you need to take your long-term goals and your short-term goals, and you need to look at them and say, hey, is this information that I'm learning, is it available? Is it important to me right now to achieving my goals, or do I need to discard it and maybe learn about it later? Because a lot of people will read, just like the person that asked a question earlier, they said they loved learning. And a lot of people love learning. I love learning. But it wasn't until, specifically me, until I started taking a lot of action, until I started making a whole bunch of videos and really putting in that work and the hours to turning that information, the stuff that I've learned, into action, that you start to get results. Let's go on to the next question. This person didn't enter their name, but what is supposed to do with the filled journals? Do you ever review them or do other things with them? If yes, when? I want to let you guys know. I'm hiring a designer to help improve the journals in the Practical Growth Academy, because right now they're basically pretty bland and basic, but I am definitely willing to improve those. I want to create a few different variations of journal design so that you guys have a couple to pick from. But the journals are basically just for your own use to help you grow, so that you can look back on, you can set goals in the future, stuff like that. If you wanted to, you could send them in. You could probably mail them to me. I'll give you my address. And I'd love to post pictures on the homepage and definitely the Discord group. That is awesome. I love seeing other people's work and their. When you look at a journal, the cool thing about a journal is that you can see your own consistency. You can see your determination to finish that journal. Personally, I keep mine in little tiny notebooks, and I keep them in a drawer when I've finished the notebook. Alright, the next question is, I've already read some of the books you put on PGA, but it never crossed my mind the things that you have in your actionable worksheets. How do you build these? I'm not sure who asked this, but I think after I'm done reading the book, I think throughout the week and try to come up while I'm reading them, and I try to come up with ways that help me implement the ideas in the book. And then when I've come up with some simple ways and some simple thought-provoking questions, I share them with you guys. Let's go into the next question. This one is by Stefano. How do you apply psychology concepts best to your life? I love this question. This is exactly what I'm hoping to do with Practical Growth Academy and Practical Psychology. Since a lot of these topics have to do with psychology and also with my channel, I love psychology. But I really fell in love with using psychology concepts and ideas of psychology to better myself. Learning how we are motivated, how to lead people, how to get someone to like you, stuff like that, it really intrigued me. So I'm hoping I can present you, and what I present you with, that you can learn and take away bits and pieces of how to use the psychology knowledge and wisdom and stuff that I've learned from reading a whole bunch of psychology textbooks and studies and stuff like that, that you can take those away and apply them to your life. That's my goal. That's my, I wouldn't say my one-word goal, but that's one of my goals with Practical Psychology. Because when I started Practical Psychology, I was learning a whole bunch about psychology, but it wasn't applicable. There wasn't any big sources of information out there that I could go and say, this is cool information, how can I apply it to my life? That's what I'm hoping to do with all these animated videos. The next question is from Leo. Leo asks, oh, this is a long one. There's a weird typo in there too. I am 15 years old and I read quite a bit of books. A book a week usually. I try to make the most of my time, but also not restrict myself too much. I try to learn as much as possible in school and for my everyday life. I want to become a new computer nerd, scientist, and programmer, but I also want to be an entrepreneur. How important is it for me to go to university if I want to achieve those goals? I only want to go there to make friends and see what it's like. Do you have any tips for me and anyone else who might be in a similar situation? And if you were in my place, what would you do? Let's see. It sounds like university might be the best place for you at the moment, or at least to plan on going to university. I don't want you to go if you don't want to go, but university is needed for some people, especially those who are on the fence about what they want, about what career path they need to go, especially if entrepreneur is one of them and computer scientist is the other. Especially if you want to make friends in those fields. I would not recommend going deep into debt or taking out more than, I'd say, $5,000 a semester, so try to keep it cheap and go somewhere local to study. But I'd say study to be a computer nerd or scientist or programmer, at least plan on it, and keep your eyes open for entrepreneurial opportunities while you're studying. See if there's a lot of people around you that have a problem, and then if you can, solve it to the best of your abilities. Right now, you're 15 years old, so I know personally a lot of stuff can change from 15 to the time that you graduate. When I was 15, I couldn't even drive. When I was 16, I worked at a factory for the summer. And then when I was 18, I graduated, and I wanted to be a nuclear engineer. I actually went to nuclear engineering college. Now I'm 21, getting paid to read books and learn about psychology. So it's crazy how your paths can change. And specifically for you, you've got 4 more years until you graduate. So personally, nothing I could have ever imagined that I'm doing now while I was 15. So keep your mind open, stay humble, and never stop learning. That would be my advice for you, Leo. The next question is by someone, I'm not sure who, they didn't put their name. How to divide your time. What do you think is the most efficient way to do it? I'm talking about being with friends and investing in self-growth, exercise, work, and relaxing. I'm going to be honest with this one. This one has stumped me. Personally, I've spent a lot of time working right now, and I really need to be more balanced with it. So I'll keep my eyes open for a better way to divide and schedule my time, and I'll get back to you on this one. My social circle could probably be a little better at the moment, as well as my leisure activity, but what I used to think was leisure is quite boring right now. And I actually relax. I find it relaxing to get more work done early. So what I need to get done next week, I'll find it relaxing to get that work done now. So if anyone has anything to say about this or any ideas on how to divide your time properly, let me know in the chat or Discord group. I need to admit that I don't have all the answers, and I have a lot to learn from you guys too. So if you have any suggestions about maybe someone else answering this question, feel free to go ahead and leave some comments. Let's see. Happy birthday. Oh yeah, Practical Psychology 2. I think it's let's see, 2016. It started in 2016, which means today is not today. Is today yesterday or the day before? Was the 2-year anniversary of starting Practical Psychology. I forgot about that. What was it? These are predetermined questions? Yes, they are. These are questions asked by people who are in the Practical Growth Academy, and I take the time to research and try to answer these questions to the best of my abilities. And then I answer some questions in YouTube chat to help you guys out too. I joined Practical Growth Academy today. Congrats, Kartik. All right. Let's get back to these questions. The next one looks like we've got a lot more questions. Where is this? Rob asks, now this is an interesting question specifically because it has to do with YouTube. If you want to make videos for internet entertainment purposes, what is the best way to grow your channel? Because the YouTube search technique wouldn't work. He says, sorry if the grammar is bad, he doesn't normally speak English. Honestly, Rob, entertainment is a great way to grow your channel right now. Actually, entertainment channels are growing the most right now. And if you can get the engagement rate of an entertainment channel on videos for popular search terms, you have a very high chance of popping a video going viral, semi-viral, something like that. YouTube is right now kind of closing its barrier to entry for full-time employment if you want to become a YouTuber, but you can definitely still make money on the side, and it's 100% possible to make money on YouTube. So if you gave me more background information or maybe even your channel name, I could definitely hook you up with some tips and maybe a strategy and some new ideas to grow. So, Rob, let me know in the Discord or in a future question, and in the future I'll try to review your channel for you if that's something that you want to do. I'd definitely be up for that. Someone else asks, do you think I should share with my friends and other people that I'm into self-development? I think if I share this, they will not understand and kind of look at me in a different way. I'm going to answer this really simple. Definitely. Share the ideas that you're learning. That is one of the best ways to understand them better. For me personally, I learn by teaching other people. That's why I love this job. That's why I love what I do. I love learning by helping other people, by teaching other people. If they think of you different because that you want to improve yourself because you're learning these new ideas, they probably don't want to really see you succeed. Also, there's another big point. Do not expect them to be as enthusiastic about these ideas as you are. That's a big problem I had in the beginning when I really got into self-development. I was like, wow, these things are awesome. And then I would tell other people about these ideas, and they were just like, yep, that's an idea. And they were not near as enthusiastic about them as I was. So I hope that helps you. Next question is from Rob. When is the best time to meditate? In the morning or in the evening? I meditate for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. Honestly, a split is pretty good. You're doing pretty well right now. I use meditation to book in the day, so in the morning and at the night. The best time to meditate is probably the quietest time in your day. That's probably the best answer that I can give you, Rob. Rob also asks, the last couple of days I had a stuffy nose, so I couldn't meditate the way that I normally do. Is focusing on your breath through your mouth effective, or is there another way I should be meditating? You can definitely get benefits from meditation while breathing through your mouth. There's actually something called mindfulness, which is another way of meditation, but you don't have to be sitting down, closing your eyes, or focusing on your breathing like most people when they think of meditation. Mindfulness is more about being in the present moment, and it has been linked to higher immune function, greater gratitude levels, and lower anxiety levels, along with a ton of other benefits. Mindfulness is basically just not worrying about the future or the past for a little bit. Just thinking and focusing on what you're doing right now, staying in the present and appreciating it. It takes some self-control, but you can do it on your way to work, you can do it at work, you can do it even in the shower if you wanted to. I kind of explained it in a really basic sense, but if you want to, look up mindfulness, and I think that you might, it sounds like if you're already meditating 5 minutes, that mindfulness might be something that you might really enjoy. Next question is from Anonymous. After reading a book, I almost don't remember anything because I read sometime every day, but it takes me almost a month or 2 months to read a whole book. I highlight and put some notes on the book to review after, but when reviewing it, it almost looks like a new book. What should I do? This is interesting. Do you gain anything from my book summaries? I was like this particularly in high school when I would be forced to read a book that I didn't necessarily like. I would read and read and read and consume all the words and look at them, but at the end I didn't have any comprehension of what the story was about. Another thing is that that might be because you don't like the book. Another thing is that might be your reading speed, so try to slow down a bit and work on really understanding and keeping good notes of what you're learning and finding fun to learn about. Also, another question that might be helpful, how much time per day do you allocate to reading? I can definitely see how 5 minutes, if you only read 5 minutes a day for 2 months, and that's how long it's taking you to finish a book, that might be why you don't have the best comprehension. Maybe chunk your reading into larger chunks. Maybe read for an hour or 2 hours at a time if you're not already. I think that would help. I hope that answers your question and helps you with your comprehension. The next question is, what is the book you have reread most times and the movie you have watched more times? For book, I've read a lot of psychology textbooks more than once. For sure, Dr. David Buss's textbook on evolutionary psychology has a ton of awesome information that I love learning about, and it's applicable to relationships, to marketing, to business, social circles, stuff like that. So a book, probably that one, because I reference it a lot, not necessarily read it front to back. It's hard to say, because I don't necessarily always read a book from start to end all the time. But movie, I definitely know the movie Iron Man, and I mean Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. I love Robert Downey Jr. Let's go back to answer some questions on the chat part. How to feel energetic all day? Personally, I drink coffee. I don't know if that's a good answer, but I drink coffee when I wake up. Do some exercise. Start working out. Working out helps you sleep better, and in turn will help you have more energy throughout the day. Do a collab with Far From Average. I've reached out to him. I really want to do a collab with Far From Average, and I also want to do another collaboration with Alpha M. So that'd be cool. I've actually done a collab with Alpha M before. Let's go back to questions. Wow, 20 minutes already. 21 minutes. The next question is, I love this question. Are you a practitioner of Stoicism? If yes, where did you start and when? What are the results until now? All right, for Stoicism, let me get a drink. For Stoicism, I more practice the ideas that Stoicism holds rather than labeling myself a Stoic. But I really enjoy looking at situations as unemotionally and objectively, specifically problems, as possible. I find it really helps a lot in business if you look at things unemotionally. I've got a collaboration on Stoicism with the channel The Realized Man, if you know who he is, coming out in about a month. So I'll answer some of these questions more in depth. And the next question, I think, has a lot to do with Stoicism too. Someone asks, how can I identify the things I am grateful for? I'm kind of a negative person and I never find things I am grateful for. So there's a Stoic practice where you take a bunch of things you use or that you enjoy every day and try to imagine life without them. This is also mentioned in the collab next month, but basically imagine living without really simple things. And if you need to, actually live without them for a day. Maybe tape your silverware drawer shut so that you can't use silverware all day. Maybe turn your computer off and keep it off. Maybe when you go to bed, try to sleep without a blanket or even sleep on the floor. These are great ways to reset your, quote, happiness levels and help you become more grateful. Just taking away some of the simple things in life. I hope that helps you. Bort asks, if you are new to making money from online products, but you want to try it, would it be better to do it alone and put most energy into yourself and learning and developing your own skill, or to start off a bit with a business partner who is also new to the subject, but already has a skill, which is unrelated to your own, that you'd both be able to market? All right, this is a hard one. As long as you can trust your business partner, being around a mentor or someone with a skill is a great thing. One of the biggest downfalls I see is that people go into business with their friends or their family, and it can really ruin some relationships in the future. So make sure you clearly lay out what each person's job is, and then you also have to decide within yourself, do you trust them enough that they will follow through with it? So that's what I would say. If you trust them, go through with it. I'd say it would be a pretty good idea. But if you don't, definitely, and if you're going through with it and they're going to help you, definitely keep putting energy into yourself and investing in yourself and learning. Don't let them do all the work. All right. Next question is about video games. Someone asks, I think I am addicted to video games. I just can't stop playing. I say just 30 more minutes and then I end up playing a lot of time. And when I'm not playing, I'm thinking about it. Can you help me stop doing this? So if possible, you can use video games to reward your hard work. Maybe something that you should do is completely uninstall the video games. If you have a computer, delete the files. If you have a console, uninstall all the updates and the other files. And make it so that if you want to play again, you'll have to reinstall them. My best advice for you is to burn your bridges if you want to stop playing altogether. But because your whole life will change when you find that you have to find something else to do with all of those free hours that you spent playing video games. If, on the other hand, you still want to play video games and you want to use them as a reward to reward hard work, you're going to have a little bit more self-control and not play until what you want to achieve or stuff that contributes to your goals are finished. Next question. I create to-do lists, but time after time they get too big and the tasks just keep staying there. What is the best process to create a to-do list? Alright, tip number 1, write down your to-do list the night before. Tip number 2, when you wake up, look at your to-do list and write down a couple more things that come to mind. Now, after these 2 steps, after this 5-minute morning session of finishing your to-do list, do not add any more tips, any more to-do lists. Next time you think of adding something new, either do that new thing so that you don't have to write it down, or do something else on the list and cross it off to allow a new spot. Don't add something new to the list unless you're crossing something else off. And if you want to write something else down, don't write it down, just do it. Just go ahead and do it. That little mental shift might help you get more things done on your to-do list. Next question is from Amanda. Will there be a personal academy forum in the future where members can discuss their progress throughout the course with each other? This sounds awesome. Right now it's just a Discord group where we can talk to each other, but I might think about a forum and I might add it in the future. We've talked about it a little bit in Discord. Some people agree, some people don't. So I might stew on that for just a little bit and think about it. The next question is also from Amanda. This is a suggestion as opposed to a question. You may want to have a set of instructions written at the beginning of the course as to how to complete the course. Initially, I was just watching the videos and didn't realize that there were PDFs at the bottom of the videos to fill out. I remember you saying that there were worksheets, so I went back to the videos, and it wasn't until I scrolled down further that I found them, and I'm now a bit gutted because I am behind. Many thanks. Thanks for this suggestion. I have just recently added an instructions section into Practical Growth Academy. Thank you so much for this. I love it when people in the course recommend things that change to make it better. That's how Practical Growth Academy will grow. That's how this community as a whole will improve. So thank you for that, Amanda. The next question is a really long one from Tucker. I think he also says AKA Lee Harden, I think that's his Discord name. What is the best way to find, new, and keep in contact with like-minded people? Those people being the motivated, goal-oriented type of people. Would a Facebook page work okay? If we never had met in person, I feel like it could still work and be able to spread your reach more than face-to-face time would allow. I love my friends, but I know that I'm a more driven person than them, and I like being around people with similar goals that are outworking me, because that makes me work harder. So that's awesome that you're that self-aware, Tucker. I am in the same boat too, I think. My real social life is a pretty small circle, just because I have a very high tendency to drop people who create unnecessary drama. I've got maybe 2 to 3 tight friends other than my family, and sometimes even in my family there's drama there. I agree though. I've got friends online who are close and we grow together. I've got people from Practical Growth Academy. I've got a YouTube group that I'm in. I've got some people that I've met via email, and basically having an online community that helps you out and thinks like you is really helpful. Facebook groups are cool because they force people to be more real, less anonymous. Maybe you can even set up Skype calls or phone calls with some people that you meet online. Something that I hope to do more of in the future. Also, if you want to find more like-minded friends in real life, don't try to create a new group. Instead, find a group that already thinks like you, and then go out and meet people in that group. For example, maybe you're into martial arts. You could join a new training group. Maybe there's 10 to 20 people in that training group. Maybe one of them has the same values and beliefs and work ethic that you do. There you found one person. If you were think of it like this. If you were another person outside of your body and you wanted to find the original you, how would you find you? Where would people like you be? What would they be doing on a normal basis that sets them apart from the average person? That's a little thought experiment that you can think of to find more people that think like you and are motivated and work harder than you. Next question. Is there anything more important than self-discipline? This question is such a hard question to answer because I need more information. It's like asking, is red the best color? In reference to what? For sports cars, for blood, for me, is red the best color for you? Self-discipline is definitely really important. But for what? For being a better person? Sure, there's a ton of more things more important than self-discipline. Honesty in some situations, humility in some situations, the need to learn, especially sometimes passion, is even more important than self-discipline. It really depends on the context, but yes, in general, self-discipline is very important. Let's go on to the next question, which I think is the second to last question, and then I'll get on to some YouTube comments, some YouTube chat. What is the best to do, cold shower in the morning or in the evening? The best time to take a cold shower, in my opinion, would be in the morning right after you wake up. Simply because it'll help you wake up more. But in all honesty, I think there are benefits either time that you take a shower. It would probably be easier to take a shower whenever you normally take showers, because that way you would only be changing the temperature and not the temperature and the time that you take your shower, which might be too many new factors and would eventually discourage the new habit. One more question here, guys. My voice seems to be going out a little bit. I think I'm getting sick. Some of my family members have been sick, so hope you guys stay healthy. The next question is, hi Theodore. Well, the last question. Really enjoying the course so far. I do have one question that's been on my mind for a while now. Can anyone be an entrepreneur? Most of the people I look up to and would like to model myself after are some form of entrepreneur. But being an entrepreneur and even business experience itself is alien to my family. They've all gone the traditional college career route, but that's not what I'm keen on, and it kind of feels lonely sometimes. Any thoughts? In my opinion, anyone can be an entrepreneur, but not in the sense of Gary Vee, Tom Bilyeu, or any of those other big entrepreneurs like that. But everyone can, quote, organize business activity and take on greater financial risks, by the definition of an entrepreneur. I think anyone can become a great salesman if they have a product that they believe in and they want to learn how to sell. Now, to become a major successful entrepreneur, that's another story. I don't think everyone has what it takes to put in the hard hours. I think the path you take really has a lot to do with it. The mentors that you find, how you get your education, the biases that you have about becoming successful. I don't think everyone has the organized personality and the charisma needed to organize tons of people, motivate them, and the patience to correctly help them out when they do a job wrong. Anyone can start a small business, I'm sure of that. But not everyone can start a large business, a very successful large business, where more people are involved and more jobs are involved, and more responsibility is involved. I think anyone can try to be better, and everyone has the opportunity to make more money by helping others. I do believe that, especially through an entrepreneurial route. Maybe not as a large of an entrepreneur as Gary Vee or Tom Bilyeu, like I mentioned before. If you find yourself with entrepreneurial tendencies, stuff like patience, selling things at a young age, social skills, organizational skills, love for the work, and maybe being able to focus for a long time on something, then you have a much higher likelihood, in my opinion. I'm not saying that this answer is definite, but this is my own opinion and what I have seen growing up and meeting other entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur as myself. I honestly think anyone can be an entrepreneur. I don't think everyone can be a huge, very successful, organize tons of people type of entrepreneur. I think you can help people and make money at the same time. So that is the last question. I really hope I answered your question to the best of my ability, or I know that I did, but I hope it helped you out. Let's get to some questions in the YouTube chat before I end this one. How to memorize stuff that you need to learn in exams. Honestly, the best way to memorize something is either through mnemonics, little thought maps, ways to connect things, or repetition. Let me give you an example of one of the thought maps. So my brother was trying to learn the states and capitals, and my mom was helping him out, and my mom is really good about helping you memorize something. This is something that I think really boosted my memorization skills. What she did was she would look at it and say, how can he memorize this better? And being the 6th or 5th grader or whatever grade he was at the time, 5th or 6th grade boys usually have a pretty weird sense of humor. So she said, all right, this is Florida. And for some reason, he could not remember the capital of Florida. And my mom goes, you know what, that kind of looks like, well, you know what Florida looks like. So the capital of Florida is Tallahassee. So she goes, all right, she told my brother, you can remember that the capital of Florida is Tallahassee because it kind of looks like a, quote, tallywhacker. And that is how my brother literally memorized the capital of Florida. And that's a way that you can memorize stuff. And whether it is funny like that or whether it is something that connects to your life, just making little connections like that really helps you memorize something. Also, if there's something that you need to memorize, understanding why you need to memorize it will help you memorize it better. You guys have any more questions? Thank you guys so much for being on, and I hope you guys got value out of this. If you did, type yes in the chat. I'm curious how many of you guys actually get value out of these Q&As. You guys know I make all kinds of weird noises when I'm just sitting around working. I make all kinds of weird little pops and stuff. I can do that pretty quick. Oh, there's Brett. I know him from Practical Growth Academy. Thanks, Brett. There's a bunch of yeses, and I don't see a single no, so he must be doing pretty well. Alright guys, before I end this chat, well, I might answer some more questions, but first I want to tell you a little bit about Practical Growth Academy. Practical Growth Academy is my private membership group that you can sign up in the link below. Each week you'll get an animated book summary along with an actionable worksheet, which helps you turn the ideas that you learn in the books into practices in your real life. Along with all kinds of other stuff like weekly questions that I'll research and answer for you on this live stream. A monthly mini course. If you sign up below, right now you'll get all the previous mini courses that I've created and all the previous animated book summaries with other stuff. Any more questions? Where do you announce the live stream? Let's see. The live stream is on YouTube, but if you want to watch the replays of it, you can join Practical Growth Academy. All the replays of all the previous live streams that I've done are set up on there. They're also on the Discord. I didn't do a good job this time. I need to be better about that, about telling everyone in the Discord that the live stream is about to go up. There's Jitesh again saying Practical Growth Academy is the best course. Man, that guy is such a good supporter. What is your expertise? That kind of boxes me into one field. I wouldn't say that. I love learning about psychology, self-growth, self-improvement, business ideas. I love learning about stuff. There's the Habit Guy channel. Oh man, I love your channel. You have a great strategy of growing your channel with, I see almost every video, business video, book review video, Gary Vee video, you're always the top comment. I don't know how you do it, but you're really good at commenting. How can you help friends to forgive others? That is a good question. I will research that. Because forgiveness is very important, especially in a psychological aspect, so that you don't eventually resent someone. Is Practical Growth Academy for free? It's not for free. Right now, if you sign up in the link in the description, you'll get a lifetime discount of only $17 a month, and you can cancel anytime. In the first month, in the next, I think it's 24 to 48 hours, I'll send you an Amazon gift card for $20, which means the first month, I'm literally going to pay you $3 to check out this Growth Academy. And after that, it's $17 a month. You can cancel anytime, which means you can cancel within the first month. Keep your $3, and I think there's like 7 or 8 book summaries in there. You can go through those and watch all those if you want to. But after that, I've got to make money somehow to support the channel, so it's going to be $17 a month after that. But like I said, you can cancel anytime if you're not bettering yourself with it. If you're in the course and you're not bettering yourself, I don't want you to be in it. I feel like I'm taking your money and I don't want to do that. What audiobook do you recommend for self-esteem? It's been a while since I've listened to an audiobook, but there's one called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, I think, by Nathaniel Branden. I think that's his name. I have it back there. Let me go get it. Wow, I remember that perfectly. The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, the subtitle is The Definitive Work on Self-Esteem by the Leading Pioneer in the Field, by Nathaniel Branden. And that's crazy because I haven't looked at this book in at least 6 months. So that's cool that I remembered the author's name. The Habit Guy channel says, what does everyone think of my channel trailer? I will definitely go check that out because I've seen your channel before and you seem to have a pretty good... Where did my pen go? No idea. I was going to write that down, but I will check it out right after this. Alright, there's 123 people on. We're approaching 40 minutes about. You guys have any questions? The best movie to learn about psychology? That is a good question. I wonder what the... Let's see. Let's see if I can describe a movie and you guys can name it. There's one with Will Smith in it where he steals things. What is the name of that movie? I really like that movie. I don't know if everything in it was true, but it really had a lot to do with priming and how to manipulate and change people's minds. What is the name of that movie? Is a one word, I think. I think it's one word. Yes, Focus. Yes, that's the name of that movie. I really like that. Yeah, that's it. Focus. Men in Black. Nope, the movie was called Focus. I'm not sure if everything in that movie was true, but it does show that priming and other psychological aspects and biases and stuff like that can play in manipulating someone. You guys have any more questions? 3 sources you can recommend to study wealth. There's a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read it yet, it lays out foundational ideas that you need in order to get rich. How old am I? I'm 21. How do you get rid of depression? There are a couple things I recommend with when someone has depression. If it gets really bad, first off, you need to go get professional help. If it's not that bad and you feel like if you feel like it's not that bad, you can definitely try to learn something new. Sometimes learning something new inspires curiosity, inspires self-growth and stuff like that. For me, when I start to get a little depressed, and I don't mean clinical depression, I mean like my energy levels start to fade for a couple weeks and then they go back up. In that period, I will learn. I'll read a whole bunch of books and take a whole bunch of courses and maybe meet some new people. Being around friends and family that are supportive and help me, that helps me a lot. Man, my throat is really sore today. Do you have exercises to get confident? Yes, maybe not exercises, but there's tips. Actually, if you go to any of my videos and go into this description, there is a link that says get 27 free confidence tricks, I think is what it says. And if you click it, it'll take you to a link where you enter your email and you'll sign up to my email list. And then after that, as soon as you confirm that you want to be on my email list, I will send you to a page that gives you 27 confidence tricks. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end this live stream. It was a blast to be on here. I hope the rest of your day is amazing. And if you're going to bed, I hope tomorrow is great. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my How to Find Your Purpose video if you haven't watched it already. I'll see you guys next week.